August here, and here's my review of Volume 2 Equip and Prop, Rekka, Ensou, Garo, and Madoubi from Bandai. So this figure was released way back in 2008. They are a part of the spin-off from the super imaginative Chogokin line. They are consist of 8 volumes, though I still can't understand why there are people who can't tell the difference between an SIC to equipment prop, or an SIC to Makikado, or SIC to a movie realization figure. It doesn't, for me, doesn't really make any sense at all. Um, and it kind of ticks me off sometimes. Like, they keep calling this a SIC Garo. You know what, guys? Of course, no offense. I just need to vent. I need to, you know, release this out. But try to get out of Facebook from time to time. It's not like I have anything against Facebook. It's the people who keep providing um, inaccurate information is in Facebook, which kind of takes me off. Try to get out of Facebook from time to time. Do a little research yourself. It's good that you're able to end the day that you gain some information that it's legit. Um, there are a lot of nonsense stuff that being posted in Facebook, in case you're not aware of. Um, so yeah, there are a lot of search engines there. You have Google, you have Bing It, you have Yahoo Search. You know, try to do a little research, guys. It really doesn't take a high level IQ or a very smart person to for you to do that. It just that you stop being lazy and just get out of it, Facebook or any other social media sites. If you can access the social media sites in a daily manner, then I think you can just spend a little time, do a little research, not just with toys, but you know, um, in general, current events, weather, even politics, if you're into it. So yeah, enough with that. So for the packaging of the figure, um, Equipment Prop has a very unique style of doing their packaging. Aside from their Berserk Garo, which I still don't have it, but it will be arriving anytime this week or by next week. But for the rest of the 7 figures released under this line, Equipment Prop, they have a very unique style where you can really see the figure, the accessories it came with. Um, so yeah, it has a very nice detailing here. You can see Equipment Prop, Garo, and Madoubi. Right. Alright, at the back it has a very nice preview of the figure. Uh, so, what makes Equipment Prop different from the Makikado line is, as you can see here, if you're aware of like Sochaku Henshin, a 6 inch, or I think it was 4, 5, 6 inch. No, I think it's not 4 inches, but probably within the 5 or 6 inch range. It has the same concept wherein it came with a human figure, then you can just put in the armor on the figure, but compared of course to the Sochaku Henshin, you know, you will be using the upper body here for you to build Garo here. And they did came with like special accessories. Like for this release, it's the Madoubi lighter. Then we have one that I will be reviewing later on, the Wing Garo, that came with a ring, I believe. Then the other one, I think it was Kiba, came with a pendant. I had Dan. I made a review on Dan, that came with a bracelet. So yeah, that's the unique style of equip and prop versus to the Makikado line, where um, Makikado line already abandoned in providing other accessories such as this lighter or the pendant or the ring, and they already abandoned the human figure as well, so they just went ahead and made a Makai Knight figure, an independent one where you don't need to build anything and so on. But we will do a comparison review later on about the range of motion between a Maikado and equipment prop line. So yeah. By the way, for a classic Vitis figure that was released way back in 2008, they tend to secure their figures using these annoying twist wires, which I really hate. So if you've been reading my toy reviews blog or my past reviews here in YouTube, then you would notice that I keep on saying that I really hate, because I really hate these annoying twist wires. Luckily, I have this. So let's just go ahead and open the figure. So for size comparison, we do have a 6-inch Marvel Legends from Hasbro Captain America figure, and of course our equipment prop Koga Zejima, the human figure, and the DC Direct, or I think it's a DC collectible Batman figure. Um, so this figure is almost a 7-inch figure. As you can see, there's like a small gap between the 6-inch Captain America and this figure here, and there's like a half-inch shy between these two figures. So yeah, there you have it for size comparison. But if you're into like toy photography, I think you can still pull it off, despite the fact that there's like a small um, range of or a small gap between the height of these figures. Um, yeah, it would really depends on how you would take it, or maybe we will just need to rely on the angle shots and be creative. Anyway, for the range of motion of the figure and the detailing, um, it for me doesn't really resemble the actor who played this character in the series at all. But I can really feel the effort that they put in here. So probably to my part, it's yeah, it's acceptable on my part, but probably to some it's not. It's on a ball joint right there, a single ball joint. They could have added a neck articulation here, but they decided to hmm. All right. In this angle, it kind of reminds me of the character, but there's some elements here on the sculpting that doesn't at all. Anyway, go back to the articulation. So you can swivel it like that, and the head can pop off easily, because you'll need that. You'll need this body later on when you build Garo. Alright. The shoulder here is on a single ball joint, and it has a very limited range of motion as far as doing this part. Uh, Alright. But it can rotate 360. The elbow is on a single uh, hinge here. It's single joint. It doesn't have a bicep swivel. I wish it could have yeah, added some bicep swivel. The hand is on a ball joint and can do that. And as you can see here, we have Zaruba. Not perfectly sculpted, but just to indicate that the that Zaruba is there. My camera is having a hard time focusing it. Come on, dude. There you go. Alright. So, the legs, it doesn't have a tie swivel, but it can do splits as far as that. I think it can go further. Alright. It's unable to do the backward movement because of the gap here, or the detailing here on the butt. But you can raise it like that. It's on a single joint, and this kind of articulation is pretty much basic on their human figures. I haven't gotten the other ones, but I already have Dan, and he has the same one as well, and Zero as well. All right, and the leg falls off, but it's not broken because you really need to remove this later on when you're gonna build Garo. Now on the ankle, it has a ball joint, so you can tilt like that. So it can, it's more, it has a ankle rocker like feel to it, you know. So ball joint can tilt like that. It has a good range of motion, but sadly doesn't have a articulation. But it's not really a huge deal for me. So for the details and sculpting of the figures clothing, this part here is on a plastic, soft plastic. Here, as you can see, there's a very nice effort of putting stuff here, the detailing, the design elements, the color scheme, and all that. As you can see there, there's like some blue wash is on the corners, and then they used a lighter tone of blue mixed with white here. So because in the series, this character is wearing the color scheme of the jacket that he's wearing is totally white, and they're able to manage to pull this off, this kind of color scheme, and it's really nice, as you can see here. Very nice at all. So it's really on a soft plastic like that. So there you go for the articulation and detailing of the figure. So here are the accessories and the armor parts and the props that came with the figure. Let's start with this one. This is the Madoubi casing. As you can see here, this thing is made out of plastic. I thought at first that it's made out of die cast, but unfortunately it's just plastic, but it has a very nice detailing on it. Check it out. See, and then this part right here is in on translucent plastic red. It has a very nice feature where you can close it like that. So it's very nice, very dope. Alright. Right. Seems like this thing is made out of plastic too. It's like a uh, bone type of thing attached to this thing here. Alright, so you can open it up. I wish that they added like a light effect gimmick or something like that, but you know, it's just a minor gripe on my part. Anyway, so this is the main cartridge or the lighter itself that we will be inserting on the lighter later. um, this thing here has a very sick design and details, as you can see, and it's on a translucent plastic green. Very nice. It's a very attractive looking one. And yes, it's made out of plastic, unfortunately. And it's nice. This part here looks like a backbone, spinal cord or of some kind. It's nice, very dope. And then this part here, it's since it's a lighter, it's supposed to be the one that turns and just lit lits on the lighter. But unfortunately, this is sculpted together here. And I wish they can come up with like an USB because it looks like a USB. This kind of symbol kind of reminds me of the USB. Alright, so you just need to insert it like that here. Alright, you can close it like that. there you have it. Um, all right. So we have here the only sword that came with the figure. I mean, on Garo form. This flaming sword, which has a very nice, translucent, light or green yellow green-ish color scheme going on. But the tip of the flame is quite different and very nice, very dope. This part here is made out of die cast. Yes, luckily we have something that is made out of die cast, and you can't remove the flame effect on the sword. Alright, then let's go with the legs. Then we will do the range of motion that each, like the arms and the legs can do. At this one, it seems that it doesn't budge. I was hoping it has a tie swivel, but this one is a bit stiff. So probably it's already glued to it, or it's just that mine's really new that um, the joint there is stiff or stuck for some reason, but it won't budge. Same goes with the other leg. Um, the knee here is using two types of joint system, where it's using a hinge type at the same time connected to this part here using a ball joint. So that's pretty much a double joint system. But unfortunately, thanks to this design on the knee, it somehow hinders this knee to provide that range of motion that we are supposed to be getting. Because when you do this, it's already blocking the first hinge knee articulation right here, and then the ball joint right here. It's already being hindered again by this detailing here right on the center. So that's that's how far it goes. It's a bit of a bummer, but knowing myself, I'm not really entirely on the articulation part of these kind of figures. I'm more after the design and sculpting. But yeah, it would be a huge deal to some. But well, I think that they're able to manage to fix that with their Makikado, which we will be doing a comparison later on. Anyway, it's ball jointed here, so it adds a little range of motion when you're doing posing with the figure, like that. And then the ankle is on a ball joint, as you can see, so there's a good range of motion right there, but it doesn't have a toe articulation, unfortunately. Check out the detailing on the legs. So it has a nice flame effect, like the one that we saw on the sword. The flame effect style and the color scheme is really consistent, and the sculpting is really well done. With this kind of figure, it really has a very good design elements going on here, regardless of who is the character, which I really dig about this toy line. So this part of the armor, upper armor, is made out of soft plastic. As you can see, there's also some flame effects going on here. Same color scheme. There's some holes right here, which we will be using this part. Um, you would be able to know where which part goes to. It's really basic. You don't really need a manual, but if you need to, you can just check out the packaging, the back of the packaging. It's the manual is still there. You can check it out, but it's really easy to identify. Like for this one, um, the bottom part below here of this peg is a bit flat, so it's supposed to go straight right here and be placed like that. Or maybe you can just do this once you already put in the base body of Goga. I'm just showing you guys how you should do it. And then some I've noticed they tend to do this like that. Well, technically we do have our own perspective, but for accuracy's sake, the right way to do it is like that. This part here should be at the bottom, not on the sides, or the other way around. It's supposed to be like that. All right. So there you have it. And then on the head, same effect part going on here, coming out of the figure's ear, both ears, and then his sideburns here. So yeah, it's nice, and you can't really remove it. Nice sculpting on the head, on the helmet, you can see. And then they use a plastic, well painted, instead of the usual translucent green plastic on the eyes. It's really reflective on the light, so it would provide a good um, feature when you take a photo of it, like you're trying to do a dark shim background in toy photography. Just put a little light that would lit up the eye, or somehow that would reflect the eye. It would really look good. And then it has a good sculpting of as well on the mouth and the teeth. I can see the tongue. I'm not sure if you can. Wait, is there a tongue? I think there's. No, I think it's just my imagination. Doesn't have a tongue. Alright, so it has a very nice fangs though. So cool. Alright. Now the armor, the Garo part came with the two closed fists, one weapon wielding hand, and the default open splayed hands. So this is the arm of the figure. It's using a double ball jointed joint system here. Then it has a bicep swivel. But the good thing about here is it's using a ball joint. What I like about that is that it can give you more range of motion instead of the usual peg for the bicep, because it won't give you that much. But this one, aside from the swivel, you can swivel it. It adds more range when you're trying to do some posing of this figure. Very nice. So it has a nice flame effect going on. Same goes with this one. Alright. So they don't have the exact, which is very very neat, because if you can see, they both have their own independent style of flames, not just the typical duplicate copy of this flame put in here. It's very nice that they've done that. I think they've done the same here on the feet, as you can see. Can you tell the difference from there? Can you? I think there's also some uh, differences here. So very nice. All right, now go back on the articulation. So it's on a single hinge here, like that. This is how far the arm goes. All right, but mine, you can swivel it a little. Not sure if it may have something to do with the figure being loose or what. But this part here also kind of swivels too. But you need to be careful when you're buying this stuff. You just need to check the joint if it has already a crack on it, because it tends to happen. Especially to this kind of figures, it tends to happen. Though not as much as you would if you get like the SAC Blade Hibiki Fives or Ryuki, because this one is a bit different style of joint system. But still, I think the equipment prop are also known to that chance of having a broken joint But so far, my dad didn't had that issue. And luckily, this set didn't had an issue. But I'm hoping probably the Berserk Garo, the huge one, might have a problem. The wing Garo, probably the wing has, a very weak joint that may tend to break. So that's something that I am already expecting. So at least I'm ready. Now for the wrist, it's on a ball joint, but doesn't have uh, do much of motion aside from the swivel, because maybe because of this part here. So we have Zaruba right there on the other hand. Alright. Same goes with this one. So you can see Zaruba. Come on dude, focus. We're wasting time here. Anyway, uh alright. My camera is starting to act like an ass right now. So right. So the human figure Kogazejima all just only came with one weapon wielding hand. Right? And then this is the neck part of the Garo armor. Dude, come on. Oh crap. Starting to piss me off. There you go. Anyway, this is the lower part of Garo's armor. And it seems like this part here is on a darker color scheme, gold color scheme here, compared to the other parts of the armor, like this one. This one is a bit darker. See? Darker than this one, is a bit more of a lighter, but there's like a darker gold going on here as well, so not sure if it may have something to do with the flame effect or what, or may have something to do with this figure being kept in the box for so long. Alright, so this is Koga Seshima's sword. It's made out of plastic with a very simple detailing. It's really sharp, so be careful if you have kids at home. Alright. And unfortunately, we don't have an alternate hand. I'm sorry, we don't have an alternate hand for Koga to hold this part here. You just have this one to wield the sword, which I am having a hard time inserting it to the figure's hand. Alright, so be careful when doing so. Right, then you just need to pop this off. Alright. So here are the figures. So we finally built the Rekka and Garo. So this is what's left with the Koga Sejima human figure. Right. Anyway, so what we need to take note of is that it's when trying to attach the head on the neck to the body, and these legs right here on the groin joint right there, it's a bit difficult, so be careful. You might break something, you might break the joint, and all that, so be careful. It's a bit of a pain when I was trying to attach it on my figure. Anyway, so we do have here the Makikado figure Garo. So we will do a quick comparison on the detailing, the sculpt, and the articulation, the difference, and on how it improved since then. So the one that I shown you guys earlier, this part here is a bit limited because it's still limited. But for luckily we were able to unlock the tie swivel for this figure. So it's confirmed that it's just stock because it's new. So it's a little bit stiff. So when I was attaching it to the groin, um, it started moving. So good job. It's a good thing that it happened. Now for the Garo, pretty much the upper, the lower, the upper, the midsection part of the body, the arms has pretty much the same range of motion of what we've seen here. It's just that there's a lot of improvement on the thigh, I mean on the groin and on the articulation. As you can see here, equipment prop doesn't have a hinge on the groin right there. So this one has it, right? Then the range of motion on the knee is way better than this one. As you can see, this is how far this thing goes. Look at the huge difference there. See? So pretty much that's the only improvement that I've seen so far between this Makikado and equipment prop, and I will still keep showing you guys the comparison from the equipment prop versus the Makikado as soon as I get hold of the other Makikado Garo figures. I'm sorry, the other equipment prop Makikado figures. As far as the detailing goes, it's still very consistent aside from this part. This part here is more of a brown, then this part here is more of a gold color scheme used, which is not a huge deal for me. Probably it would be a bummer to some, but it's not really a huge deal. The detailing though, the sculpt, every sculpting you would see here, it's pretty much consistent on the Makikado. So good job for Bandai for that. So they're still able to maintain the consistency of their details of their figures. So yeah, lastly the sword here. So earlier I've showed you guys the uh, equip and prop flaming sword of Garo, and then this is what we have for the Makikado line. So as you can see, there's a huge difference. I really like the equipment prop better than the Makikado line. It's just that this one is more transparent than this one, but the color scheme, the effect, and the detailing of the fire, I really dig it. And lastly, the handle is made out of die cast on the equipment prop, but the Makikado came with a plastic one. So that's about it. That's about it for this review. I really do thank you guys for checking it out. Please subscribe, and I really do apologize if it took too long for this review to finish. It's just that I don't want to rush in making reviews. I just want to provide the details and the information you need to know. So there you go. Please check out my blog. Please subscribe to my YouTube channel. So that's it for now. Later.